Hello, it was Dame Vera Lynn, the force's sweetheart, she was a great animal lover, and she lived to 103. She died in 2020, and the White Cliffs of Dover. We'll meet again, don't know where, don't know when. And her daughter, Virginia Lewis Jones, wrote to Ben Wallace, the Defense Secretary, a few years ago, begging him to replace the bearskin, the Canadian bearskin, with fake fur. And she said, like many of her generation, my mother witnessed a seismic shift in attitudes towards fur. What was once a symbol of prosperity and glamour became a symbol of cruelty, and a reflection of these changing attitudes, most British people, even Her Majesty the Queen, have come to reject it. Yet inexplicably, bear fur is still being used to make the Queen's Guards ornamental headgear. And these are 18-inch high hats, and apparently between 50 and 100 new bearskins are made each year, and have been worn routinely by the British military since 1815. I think the British were wearing a form of bearskin before that as well. As I say, in another video, I think it goes back to the 17th century. But there is a significant movement against the bearskin. The Ministry of Defence has spent £145,000 on just over 100 bearskin hats in 1 year, and the fake fur. They complain the fake fur would become waterlogged; it would become impossible to wear. That makes perfect sense, frankly. The ceremonial headgear, of course, is used by the guardsmen on parade. And George Eustace, the Environmental Secretary, had launched a consultation about banning the sale of fur, partly because of the activities of Boris Johnson's wife, Carrie, and Lord Goldsmith. But this whole idea was shelved, along with the ban on foie gras, presumably once Boris was defenestrated. And instead we've got a bland statement from the government that the government is united in its commitment to upholding its world-leading standards in animal welfare. But this problem will keep going on, and it is important to realise that this is not simply a fad of 17 Scottish MPs who are probably, the Edinburgh Royal Military Tattoo brings in a lot of revenue, I would have thought, but yeah, what's the difference visually between a real fur hat and a fake fur hat? It's the waterlogging potential. Well, we just have to find a way to stop that.